This is what a narcissist will do if they are about to lose you for good. Everyone has experienced regret, which is a deep recognition of previous deeds or inactions that resulted in undesirable consequences. This strong feeling has the capacity to negatively impact our mental health. We explore the fascinating topic of whether narcissists truly experience sorrow when they lose someone in this conversation. Understanding the sources of human suffering and the ability to transcend it is crucial to understanding this. A sensation of shame or regret that results from realizing that different courses of action were previously possible is frequently the precursor to remorse. Some people use their sadness as a trigger to alter their conduct and make new decisions in the future. For others, though, it may develop into a recurring cause of worry and self-doubt. The capacity to move past regret frequently depends on one's emotional intelligence and self-awareness. The question of whether narcissists truly experience grief at the death of a loved one becomes more nuanced. Like insects that depend on the energy of their environment, narcissists are skilled at hiding their predatory tendencies and presenting an inevitable picture. However, beneath this exterior, they are insecure, frail, and empty people. Seeing their true response to grief and loss reveals a complex side of their personality. Narcissists live in a world apart from ours, where sadness is unimaginable. They have no concept of what other people are going through or how their actions affect them. They only think about themselves, their wants and needs, and see other people as means to an end. As a result, when they experience the loss of someone, they don't feel regret or shame since they don't acknowledge that person as a distinct person with feelings and desires all their own. Alternatively, narcissists may use an apology as a stratagem to get back in control of the person they've lost. They could try to make the person feel sorry or guilty for what they consider to be their loss in an effort to regain control. To regain the individual, one may also use a variety of manipulative strategies, like flattery or making fictitious promises of change. But since these "I'm sorry" statements aren't based in true feelings of regret or remorse, they lack genuineness. Whether narcissists truly grieve losing someone is the question of the moment. Even if they might feel a kind of sadness, it's not what people usually think. It's normal for people to feel self-conscious following a setback, such as the end of a relationship or losing their job. However, as I explore, I find myself thinking back on things I should have done. You might interpret sadness differently because a narcissist sees only things and people that they find important. It's like looking through a hole and seeing only what and who they value. The only important relationships are those who ardently support the narcissist's phony self. If you gave them money, time, closeness, or any other resource they wanted, you were the preferable resource to keep around, not because you were genuinely fond of them, but rather because you were useful and hard to acquire elsewhere. Consequently, a narcissist does not feel sorrow the same way that you do. Their departure is met with regret not so much for the reasons they left as for the knowledge that they will no longer be able to use and benefit from them. One way to phrase the feeling would be, I should have worked harder to keep them in my life because they brought value. The difficulty of finding a replacement who can meet their needs, whether it be a spouse who shows them affection or a source of income, rather than the loss of a treasured relationship, is what worries them. A narcissist views other people as supplies who can be replaced. The challenge is not in losing a special person, but rather in finding someone who can satisfy their demands. There is no empathy in this world. Instead, there is only self-interest and a solitary concentration on one's own goals. Essentially, the way a narcissist feels guilty is very different from how you feel it. If they ever apologize, it's not out of true regret, shame, or sadness. As an alternative, they center on the self-serving idea that I should have done or said something differently to retain this source of supply, as I was benefiting from it. After a narcissist and you have broken up, they may try to reconnect by sending messages along the lines of "I'm sorry I let this happen. God talked to me last night, and I had a revelation and understood this all with the intention of destroying your dreams and diminishing your sense of value." A narcissist can never truly feel regret since they are morally bankrupt. Even while everyone has a feeling of right and wrong, the narcissist's perception of the world is wholly made up. They don't really care about anyone else, they just care about themselves. Consider awareness as the compass that directs our behavior. It assists us in recognizing authenticity, picking up lessons from our errors, navigating social situations, comprehending boundaries, and telling the difference between legitimate concerns and unfounded fears. But a narcissist is incapable of having this ability. They can't truly feel guilty even if their actions treat you unfairly, because their obsession with upholding a fake image trumps any concern for your welfare. There's no need to lament someone's leaving when they didn't value you for who you really are. All they did was take advantage of your resources and energy for their own gain. It is imperative that other survivors comprehend how these people fabricate stories and what measures might be achieved to persevere. I'd be interested in hearing about your encounters with narcissists if you could share them in the comments. Stay back for an upcoming episode where we can go into more detail on this subject. In the end, even if narcissists can pretend to be regretful, this is not the same as true regret. They are unable to comprehend how their acts affect people who are close to them because they lack empathy. Because they view other people as disposable tools, narcissists do not experience sadness or guilt when they lose someone. A narcissist's pretense of regret is a ruse to retake power. Instead of having sincere sorrow, their guilt could be for how their acts have affected them personally. In a relationship with a narcissist, it's critical to spot these warning signs and avoid falling for their manipulation. Please feel free to ask questions and share your comments if you found this video helpful. The conversation can go on till we meet again. I hope you have an amazing day.